I'm Alex Bazzell. 7 years ago, I stopped playing professional basketball and I got into the training industry. I started out working with youth players, and fast forward a couple years, I was working with some of the top athletes in the world. Shortly after that, I launched a company with Carmelo Anthony called Through the Lens. Our purpose is to give unprecedented access to the best minds in basketball and allow our community to learn directly from them. You're going to see exactly how we got here and be a part of our journey moving forward. This is Behind the Lens.
What I'm writing is weighty. Call me Esso or Bebenberg. They knighting me lately. Stand where the light is. Feeling like it, delighted, and maybe I'm getting grown. Nothing wrong with Bible and Bailey's.
So, rule number one, if I don't have coffee in me, it's going to be a struggle. Don't talk to me until I have my coffee. It used to be cereal. Then I grew up a little bit, moved on to coffee. So basically, I'm an asshole before I get it. Like, I'm trying to get more, like my schedule's transitioning from an off season where it's a lot more downtime, a lot more film work. Now it's getting into pre-draft. NBA season ends this week, so the vets will start working out in about 3 weeks, so my physical schedule will pick up. So my schedule, my daily routine is kind of shifting. So right now, 7:20, so I've got to work out in 40 minutes. So right now I'm gonna try to organize everything, my list for the day. So you guys will see I like to write stuff out and go down a checklist of, I usually like to start with not even level of importance, things I need to do that I don't want to do. So I try to get that done first. Once I get that out of the way, the rest of my day becomes more and more enjoyable, less stressful. So these are like two things that I've been trying to do differently that I spoke with Derek about. Basically, again, we talked about film breakdowns, trying to connect to new clients and new people, but same thing here. I'm a big believer in like your network and the connections that are built within it. Sometimes we don't realize the people that we come across within our industry, you know, where they are now, maybe where they don't end up, 5 years down the line. They could be at a different position. They can potentially be someone that you can work with or collaborate with, or maybe even someone that can help you. So I've been trying to reach out to new people within the industry that I've never met before. What I mean by this is, like, it could be someone I respect from a business standpoint. It could be someone that I respect from maybe across a different sport, a creative that's in a different lane. So going through just expanding my network outside of basketball is what I'm trying to do, and just learn from different people. So utilizing my Instagram and trying to just get my foot in the door with different people, meet, connect, utilizing that into building out my network a little bit more, and being a little bit more proactive with it rather than just, let's see what happens today. Let's see who I meet. Let's see what we can do together. I may get 2 non-responses, but at least I'm working on building this rather than just staying stagnant. So I think these are something brand new things that I'm doing this year, so that I'm just kind of experimenting with. So we'll see. So pre-draft's just getting started. Nahziah Carter is one of the players that just started working out. Played at Washington, entering his name into the draft. So, right now the biggest focus is anytime you bring a new player in that you've never worked with before, you have to build a relationship, build your foundation, and ultimately try to see what can be done to improve certain skill sets. So the first week is always usually just about learning from each other and how the player ticks, and the rest of it kind of falls into place. Diamond DeShields also came in to get some work in. Diamond is one of the top WNBA players in the world. So training camp was about to kickstart, so she wanted to get one last weekend of skill development before she had to report to camp.
So you're gonna go here, and as soon as this foot plants, it's like another quick go. See that? So it goes boom, out. I want you to kind of like carry it, like let the ball hang and just run. You keep going this way. Your hips are here. Just stay here.
More than anything else, it's when you get a player who's so close to starting training camp and starting the year, you want to make sure their confidence is at an all-time high, because at that point you're not necessarily working on introducing new skills. It's just repping out what she's already been working on and then making sure from a confidence standpoint she's ready to implement everything that we've been working on in the season and she's ready to roll. Also, during the season, we get players, whether they come into market from out of town or, they're on one of the New York-based teams. So Frank Ntilikina is one of the guys that I just started working out last summer. He started training towards the end of the summer in LA. And, with the season where it was, there's games every other night. So guys are less likely to get extra work in or really have time to get extra work in when it comes to recovery, and they're always being on the move and shoot arounds, and obviously COVID protocols made it difficult to get in-season work in the way we usually do. But Frank carved out some time to just come and work on a few things, and really during these workouts it's only about the spots that he's getting his touches in, especially when they're in season, because you know exactly where he's getting the ball, what the actions look like. So we're just trying to make sure he was more efficient in those spots and in those actions.
So you have to get this, like sell that, and you can go right up to it. Get here and get straight at the rim. Nice. That's the angle. You see where you ended up? That's the one right there. There you go, Frank. You got 5 megs, Frank. We got to get it out of 6. Okay? Don't leave it short.
I like to be extremely transparent with my players and have an open line of communication. And if I know what their pain points are, what they're struggling with, or what hurdles they're trying to get over, then I can almost adjust what I'm doing to try to work on those things and fix it for them. Especially in season with a guy like Frank, you have to, if there's parts of his games he's not comfortable with and he's having to use that in games, that's an immediate point of address that we have to take care of. So again, it's just really about what the player needs, where they're at in their off-season or in-season journey, and what you need to find solutions to their problems. Also, there was a couple days, I'm a big believer in also working on certain things live against competition, not in a structured scenario. It's always fun, not just for me, but for them to really just be able to go and play freely and not overthink stuff as you would in a game, to where there's no pressure on the actual performance. You get to try certain things out, and then you just get to compete and try new things. So I always like to do it with my athletes every now and then, just to keep it fresh and new, and more than anything else, at the end of the day, it's still a game, and you want to keep that mindset of creativity and spontaneity. That's all a part of basketball. So there's no better way to work on that than to just play one-on-one.
All right, baby. Appreciate you, sir. It's getting nicer. All right, so right now we're going to get coffee with Haley Rosen. Haley is CEO of Just Women's Sports. Haley just started the company not too long ago. They just finished a $3 million seed round, which is obviously about what we're about to kickstart here. So it's going to be cool to talk to her, pick her brain, learn a little bit of the challenges that she went through during the raise, talk about just her company and our company, the similarities, the differences. We did a deal with them already through the T podcast, T with A and Fee. That's going under the JWS umbrella for the next couple seasons, which we're excited about that partnership. So it's good to just connect with another young entrepreneur that came from sports and is getting into the business world, about all those challenges that entails. So I'm excited about the meeting. Meeting with Haley went well. You know, we both kind of gone through the same transition from building a startup to raising money to raising more money, and the challenges that come along with being viewed as an athlete, a trainer, someone who's just kind of like a sports person, and then being taken seriously as an entrepreneur. So it was cool to share those experiences and learn a little bit about, you know, what she saw from a money raising standpoint that she had success with, where she went wrong. So trying to learn from her experiences, because she's a little bit further down the road than we are. But more than anything else, it was just great to connect with someone that's going through the exact same stuff that we are. And, you know, we've talked about possible partnerships in the future. Obviously, we already have one with the podcast, but just continuously staying connected and brainstorming ideas on how we can both help each other grow in the industry. That I think maybe can help a little bit. So, number one thing is, you know, you're great at catching on the split stance, ripping right. A lot of times though, your angles, you know, you have them on the first step, so these guys are overrunning this. So even though you're getting low, these shoulders staying out is allowing you to get stood up a little bit. So immediately you get hit, you get pushed off your line. So you should be able to slide off those a little bit more instead of settling for that. So I wanted to see here, drop. See, like he was so good at this. So like a full breakdown, you know, top to bottom, from watching the game to exporting to clipping it up to doing a voiceover is probably like, I don't know, an hour and a half tops. But once you get like in a rhythm and a flow of it, guys need film less and less, because they know, like, you've hit home the idea of, you know, hey, I want you to focus on this, right? So the next film breakdown, you don't have to be as extensive with it, you know, but you do have to reintroduce, just a reminder, let's keep focusing on this. So like, the more you implement that into their film, the more it'll be kind of a second nature thought for them. What I'm trying to get into is sending 3 breakdowns a week to players that I've either never talked to, never worked with. If you're watching different players, if you're looking at different systems, I'm learning and you're improving too. So, you know, even if I send 10 breakdowns to 10 different players and I get 3 responses or no responses, I'm still improving at my craft. So, you know, a lot of people think, well, I'm not going to get a response, they're not going to listen to me, but probably true. But there's always that small chance that they do, and they give you a chance. And college scholarship is just an opinion of one person. One person likes you, they offer you a scholarship, you're a college basketball player. You don't have to be liked by every single school. Same thing here, I don't have to be sought after by every single player in the league. I just need a couple of them to want to work with me, right? So that's the name of the game, and that's, to put it into perspective, getting no's, I've become very okay with that. You know, my dad's the one that taught me a no's a no if you never ask anyways. So what's the point?